Arlington veteran thinks those who serve need more help transitioning to civilian life.
He says he's had his challenges and his family got him through it. Channel 5's Frank McCaffrey learned more that help is on the way.
That's right. James Manayo served in the U.S. Army from 2008 to 2014. He saw combat in Iraq and Afghanistan. He does not speak about health issues he's dealt with since. James Manayo says he took pride in serving the United States after immigrating here from the Philippines.
My good memories of combat is being there for my brothers, to my side and to my back, and just leading my fire team to fulfill our mission.
Manayo now works as a nurse. He says the road to get there wasn't easy. He's tried over the last 4 years. He says he knew where to go to get medical treatment when he came home to the Valley after serving in the military. That was very visible. But he didn't know where to go to get help finding a job.
My transition was very challenging in many ways because I didn't have a full-time job. I didn't have the steady paycheck that would come in when I was still in the service.
He says his family support system was strong during his transition from combat in the Middle East to civilian life in the Valley. He thinks the VA needs to help other recent veterans get situated when they return home.
In my opinion, they can probably offer a transition program locally and help local veterans adjust more to civilian life. Probably like someone that can coach them.
Channel 5 News reached out to Manayo's Veteran Service Office in Brownsville. Its expert on veteran employment, Josue Salguero, says the VA is taking steps to help veterans find work. He says the VA has 2 employment counselors in the Valley, and now it's expanding its vocational rehabilitation and education program to hire more counselors and reduce the VA caseload. Salguero says all someone who has ended their military service has to do is stop by his office on 1124 East Madison in Brownsville and say they need help.
When a veteran comes in and they ask they need help with employment or finding a job, I usually refer them to the voc rehab program that the VA offers, and I help them out I guide them through the process, how to apply, and so forth. Once they apply, they get their appointment, and that's when the VA usually takes over, and they go from there.
Salguero says the VA voc rehab program is usually successful in guiding a veteran to the right education or straight to a job. Now, we reached out to the VA to ask if a 3rd or even 4th VA vocational rehabilitation counselor will be hired. A spokesperson for the group, Daniel Irizarry, tells us the VA recently authorized the solicitation for a 3rd counselor to join the other 2 at a location on 10th Street in McAllen. Live in the Channel 5 News studio, Frank McCaffrey, Channel 5 News at 6.
First, our electric bill. Next, the phone bill. Middle class has a bigger target on their back now. The streets are talking, and it ain't a good thing. I'm providing hope to our heroes. It is Friday, August the 12th, 7:05 a.m. My name is Frankie Olivo, and welcome to Good Morning Brownsville. Now, the reason why we're all here today, the Emmy-nominated segment, now it's time for the weather. And we have some good news, finally, in regards to the weather. We have recently been dealing with a drought. Well, it seems the United States and our neighbors in Mexico, especially in Monterrey, have been feeling the effects of a drought. Nonetheless, we do have a 7-day precipitation forecast that should see the Gulf of Mexico or those on the coast a little bit more wet this weekend. We do have a chance of scattered showers, which is expected to take place later today. The city of Brownsville is looking at a 15 to possibly 25% chance of rain. The city of South Padre Island right now is at a cool 85 degrees. But again, much needed rain is expected for throughout the week, with the highest chances of being 50 to 70% on Sunday. Again, we do need this rain as much as possible. There is a drought. PUB has been asking us to conserve water as much as possible. So again, any chance that we get for rain is always welcome. So if you're going to wash your car, you may want to hold off on it until after Monday. we should be seeing at least 3 days with scattered showers. So, morning, Coach. Say hello to all the beautiful people up in Los Fresnos for us. Also, I was very shocked to drive around my streets as of late, and the streets are talking, and it's not a good thing. Recently, I was fortunate enough to visit the Houston Sugarland area with a business associate, and throughout the streets of Sugarland, I was amazed to see how clean and upkept it was. And one would think that the northern part of Texas maintains their streets clean. And one thing that I felt was, wow, is this new? Is this a new intersection? All the grass is cut. It is green. The grass is not dry. And one thing that freaked me out when I arrived from Houston was very shocking. Our city has been in a disarray as of late. I live behind Rivera High School, and I always see time in and time out trash, large amounts of pile of tires, which is illegal, eyesores throughout the city. Here on a very busy street, Price Road, which is next to a doctor's office that just opened. Palm trees. Again, this isn't something that has been kept there for a day or two. We're talking about weeks. These are pictures that were sent into us from our community. Look how ugly and dirty the frontage road leading up to Ultimo Taco, leading up to FedEx, to T-Mobile. Now, do we have a responsibility to maintain our streets clean as much as possible? And all we see is trash. Now, a lot has been said about our downtown area, how we have argued and stated, Adams Street is one that is always nice and neat, recently paved. Streets look immaculate. The streets are talking, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not a good thing. Look at the area by our mall. When one is driving down into Brownsville, one of the first things they see after they pass Alton Glore and Morrison is our mall. Look how dirty it is. Now, this isn't something that happened on that day. No, this has been days. We should take more pride in seeing this. And it's not as if our city commissioners, they only stick to downtown. I'm sure they travel throughout the city many times per day. Do they not see this eyesore? Do they not see this problem? Again, how are we supposed to encourage individuals to come open up shop in Brownsville? Economic development is something that we've been fighting for day in and day out. And we cannot do the simple, essential things of being clean. Now, I'm not here to say that I'm OCD and I'm a neat freak, but whenever we have the resources, the capability to do something in this magnitude, we should do it. And I hate doing this, but do y'all think that the city of McAllen would allow this to happen? McAllen is transforming right now and is one of the leading cities within South Texas. And their growth, a lot has to do with it with Monterrey, of course. They're being heavily financed by internationals. But nonetheless, it is getting down to the basics, getting down to the essentials. All the money that the city of Brownsville currently has is only focused on downtown. That's fine. Okay. Y'all won on that one. Help us win throughout the city. Now, the question remains, we don't control that. Many have stated whenever we see the grass not being cut under the expressway on frontages, especially, I remember a lot going to work, getting off 12th, there was all that grass that was knee high. we get the argument and say, hey, well, that's not us. That's not us. That's TxDOT. That's the state. We should be working with TxDOT and seeing, hey, when is the cleanup? If not, maybe we can send our maintenance individuals to clean up. Again, the essentials. We want Brownsville to grow. We want Brownsville to be that gem. Look, let's not kid ourselves. The only reason why people are coming is because of SpaceX. That's the only reason. When we have things like this, they're eyesores. And again, this is not a 1 or 2 day thing. This is weeks. And yet we want businesses to come. We want economic development. We want to be able for Brownsville to be that next city, that next thriving city. But we're not doing the very essential things in maintaining it clean, presenting an image of Brownsville. We have that image of being dirty. You would think that, places such as La Southmost, my hood, by Rivera, Cameron Park would not seek the attention of being clean. But when you have a very busy expressway, very busy frontage road that leads up into one of your prime destinations for outside tourism, which is a mall, and that is dirty, what does that say to our visitors? What does that say to investors? What does that say to individuals thinking about opening up shop? Are we in Mexico? Why is this dirty? Again, I was just in Sugar Land and I was amazed of how clean the streets were, how green the grass looked. Now, we are going through a flood, and Brownsville is sending 40 pipes to McAllen. I understand that. But we need to be focused on the simple things. If TxDOT is in charge, let's reach out to them and say, hey, what are we going to do? When is your cleanup crew going to come work? If not, maybe we can subsidize it and help you with some of our maintenance crew. Why? Because it's an eyesore. Perception, ladies and gentlemen, is everything. If I come to you every morning, todos peinados, lagañas, en chanclas, well, I'm wearing chanclas, but todo tirado, what would you think of me? You think this guy needs to work on his image. The city of Brownsville needs to work on our image, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not asking for hundreds of thousands of dollars. What I'm asking for is something very simple: initiation. This is something that could be done easily. Why doesn't our city commission take more of a role in this? They always get their pet projects done, and whenever they do it, they make sure that it's done at a very, very fast pace. Why? Because they want the public, the community, to take part of that project, whatever that may be. What about cleaning? Why don't we have that same initiative, that same desire? And again, we're not asking for hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're asking for the essentials of staying clean. The streets are talking, ladies and gentlemen. The streets are talking to me, and it's not a good thing. We are dirty. Let's clean up Brownsville's image. Whether TxDOT is in charge of that, let's work with TxDOT. If they're going to come 3 months from now, let's subsidize that. Let's send our maintenance crew out there. You want to make Brownsville great? Let's focus. Let's focus on the image. Now, we have been getting it left and right, it seems. First, it was the gas. Next, it was our electric bill, with which every day it's a constant with PUB. And we are been getting those high $500, $600, $700, $1,000 bill payment. Well, now I come to you shamefully and saying, get ready, because it's only going to get worse. Now, the state of Texas will be seeing an increase in phone bills, and that is due to the state fund that they need to maintain and operate this cell phone networks, not just within the city, but in rural parts of the state of Texas. And there is a need to collect or restore over $200 million in overdue money for this initiative. Now, haven't we had it already? It feels as if we're getting it from all angles. Having a phone is now an essential item. And the important thing is that it is going to affect those individuals that have family plans. If you and your kids are in the same plan, be expected to see an increase in your phone payment. Now, you might say, and it is also going to increase for those who pay by the minute. Now, by the minute, maybe they are trying to avoid individuals from getting those prepaid cards and maybe directing them to actually get, you know, a contract with a regular provider, that'd be AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint, etc. But nonetheless, are you ready to spend more money? It seems as if the world is getting a lot more expensive, right? Like, we have no silver lining in regards to our electricity. So now we are going to be affected by our phone bill. What can be done? It seems as if this will be an ongoing issue that will go into possibly 2 years. Again, there is a need to collect $200 million. The state of Texas does have to put in money for this network of within city and rural areas throughout the state of Texas. So be prepared, ladies and gentlemen, to pay a little bit more on your phone bill coming up. Now, if it's not the phone bill, if it's not the electric bill, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but now they're going to be pinching our pockets even more. Just recently, the U.S. government did announce that they will be hiring over 87,000 new IRS agents. And many have talked about their post. Whenever they did publicize this, the qualifications that an IRS agent must possess is that he must be one that must work minimal hours, maintain fitness, of course. But the one that caught everyone's attention was that these IRS agents have to carry a firearm and must be willing to use deadly force. Now, it is interesting. The U.S. government is hiring 87,000 IRS agents. Now, there are over 742 billionaires within the state of Texas. Do we anticipate that these 87,000 I'll send them to you right now, brother. Do we anticipate that these 87,000 new IRS agents will be targeting those 742 billionaires that we have in the United States? Are they going to make their lives a little bit more difficult at looking at their finances and their portfolios, assets, expenditures? Or how many fear is that they're going to be targeting the middle class? And now the middle class will have a bigger target on their back moving forward. Small business owners who have been reporting expenses for their business, for being able to claim losses or expenses for a business, will now be scrutinized even more. Republicans have been quick to lash out at this and say, hey, for those individuals that make less than $75,000, are you ready to be audited? Are you ready to pay even more money in taxes? Now, also, it is very important for us to note the government isn't going, again, there ain't going for those billionaires. There ain't going for those individuals that got those deep pockets. Guess who they're going to? They're going to the moms and pops. They're going to those individuals that are trying to make a living in this world. Do you honestly think that the federal government is going to allow individuals who heavily finance their campaigns to be scrutinized, to pay a lot more money? I don't think so. But it leads us to question, what could the government have done instead of hiring these 87,000 IRS agents? Couldn't they have hired Border Patrol agents? Don't we have open borders where, since this current administration has taken office, we have seen an open border policy, which our representatives and leaders within the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol agencies, they have stated, we need help. This is a dire need. And we do understand that this is a humanitarian issue. And it is wise for us to put our differences aside and come together and reform our immigration policies. We can all agree to that. There is something that needs to be fixed. We can't just allow a big wave of people from coming. But can we agree that those 87,000 jobs that were brought upon by the IRS to scrutinize, to take more, to pinch more out of your money? Again, we're paying higher electricity bill. Rent has gone up. Gasoline is finally coming down. Inflation, we might get a raise of $1 or $2 in our jobs, but we feel it at the pump. We feel it paying these electric bills. We feel it now. We just reported how our cell phone bills is going to be up as well. Couldn't those 87,000 jobs be at least 40,000 more Border Patrol agents? The Democrats have not been addressing a very important issue, which is immigration. It seems that they haven't been able to accomplish much of anything in their first term, but yet they're asking for 4 more years in office. Again, 87,000 IRS agents. What are they going to do? Are they going to attack and scrutinize the rich? No, they're going to come and look at us. Couldn't we have spent more money on Border Patrol agents? Don't we have open borders where individuals have been crossing in the masses? Also, we have a need. Couldn't we hire veterans to stand guard at elementary schools, public schools, private schools? Our next segment, supporting our heroes, will be going more into depth on this, but the federal government does not assist and give opportunity to our veterans. $87,000 jobs were created to pinch more money off of you, to get more money off of the small person, the mom and pop stores. They're not coming for the big honchos. If you are looking to buy a home and have any questions, please contact Miss Cindy Arellano. If you're interested in refinancing a home, contact Miss Cindy. She'll be able to help you out. Good morning, Miss Arellano. Hope you have a great day today, a great day and weekend. Thank you for your presence. 87,000 jobs were created to take more money away from you and I, us poor people, us people that are living paycheck to paycheck. Couldn't that money have gone to our veterans? Couldn't we have provided job opportunity for our veterans? One of the big things that we are all worried about is safety. Why not give those that gave an oath to our country to protect and serve our kids? I would rather trust a veteran on guard than anyone else. But again, our federal government and this administration is not worried about doing what's in the best interest of you and I. They're in the best interest of doing what's in the best interest of Uncle Sam. And Uncle Sam is here to take your old money, boy. That is the sad truth that we need to address. I have not heard that. I did hear that they were going to start with the idea, but I haven't seen it being implemented. If you can send me the link, that would be interesting to note. But again, it is very important for us to understand the federal government isn't worried about protecting our students. They're not worried about protecting our loved ones. They're more interested in making money and making sure that Uncle Sam stays rich, unfortunately. But that is the federal government. 87,000 jobs were created none for veterans, none for Border Patrol. We do have a broken immigration system that Democrats keep on ignoring. Now, providing hope to our heroes. One group that here at Good Morning Brownsville that we are in full support of, and we feel the need that we should bring even more attention to, is our local veterans. As we all know, we all have loved ones and know of a certain individual who has made the ultimate sacrifice. They have enlisted, gave an oath to our country, and they served our country admirably. But what we have seen is that during the transition process back into civilian life, many of our veterans do not have any sort of guidance. We started off today's show with the Veterans Hospital in Harlingen, Texas. And one thing that we have been hearing year in and year out from our friends, our loved ones, is that the wait time is long, that they are not given the proper attention, care that they so desperately need. And the issues that many of our veterans deal with is mental health. They have a hard time of coping, maybe with a tragic event that they either saw or went through. Depression, suicide is in a very large rate. Some of them, unfortunately, come with certain handicaps because of the war. Many of our veterans are homeless, unfortunately. They whenever they come back home, they have a hard time of staying on their feet. They have issues with relationships. They're not able to be themselves once again. And one of the main things is unemployment. Many of our veterans struggle with having a good paying job once they come from their duties. So it's very important for us to bring awareness of this. And I will try my best. I do have friends and family, veterans that I love and admire and respect. And I always ask them questions here and there. You know, how was your experience in Germany? You know, were you able to eat something crazy? You know, tell me what you want to talk to me about. I don't ask those personal questions, but some of them do open up. And some of them do tell me, you know, one time they were scared because it was in the middle of a gun battle. And certain issues like that just intrigue me. But the issues that we have been failing and addressing is that many of our veterans do have trouble transitioning to civilian life. And we here in the lower Rio Grande Valley have not been able to do a better job. And this is something that we can all work towards. The city of Brownsville does have memorials. They do have drives, remembrance days, but we haven't been able to provide them with any steady jobs. And one issue that has been plaguing South Texas has been we don't have any jobs, unfortunately. We don't have any economic development in our local area. And we have seen time in and time again where, you know, some veterans have been able to get a job here and there, but it's not a job in which they flourish in. It's one that, oh, you know, we'll pay you a measly salary just to say that we gave you a job. We want to give these individuals opportunity. We want to make these individuals hungry again, happy again, motivated again. That's what they need. Transitioning into a 9-to-5 job is very, very difficult compared to what they saw. And we have been very alarmed to report that, you know, the VA clinic was ranked, you know, one of the worst out of 5 stars. At one time they were 1 and 2, which is unacceptable. We need to do a better job either from our reps, from our senators, from our congresswomen, our congressmen, to bring more awareness, bring more jobs. Our focus should be on our veterans. Why? Because they did what none of us would do. They took that risk in life and served our country proudly. Congresswoman Mayra Flores did vote in favor and did announce that the PACT Act will be in place to assist our veterans. And one thing that the PACT law does focus on was that it's going to be providing medical care for veterans. And this ensures that veterans who are exposed to any toxic hazards during their military service will be eligible to receive medical care and benefits. So this is a great thing that our Congresswoman has been doing and focusing on our veterans. Again, we need to do a better job as a society, as a community, to make sure that they're well taken care of. Again, they suffer from mental health issues. Many individuals do come with some sort of handicap. Homelessness is a very important, very big, especially down here that we have seen our veterans. They don't have nowhere to live. And most importantly, we need to focus on providing them opportunity and jobs for our veterans. Again, we have to remember that is because of them that we're able to live in a democratic society in which you and I were not faced with dictatorship, where we're forced to learn a certain religion, where we're forced to act a certain way, believe a certain way. No, land of the free, home of the brave. And it is because of our veterans. We have been doing a dismal job. And I talk about what I know, and I'm talking about in my area. Yes, I'm focused on in Washington, but more importantly, I'm focused on my veterans here in the Rio Grande Valley, here in the city of Brownsville. And I'm here to say that our VA clinic in the city of Harlingen that does address and open its doors to our veterans needs help, needs assistance. Congresswoman Mayra Flores did sign and pass into law this act that will help ensure that we are one step closer and directing our veterans to help and assistance. We salute Congressman Flores, and we do anticipate that she will continue to have the veterans at the forefront whenever she is bringing jobs, bringing growth, bringing economic opportunity to our local area. And that, my friends, is the rest of the story. First, the electric bill. Next, your phone bill. We can't get a break, it seems. So if you have a family plan, you're going to be paying a couple of dollars more. The middle class does have a bigger target on their backs now. 87,000 IRS agents were hired by the federal government. Couldn't we hire some Border Patrol agents? Don't we have a broken immigration system that this current Democratic administration has not fixed? Their freaking our vice president is the border czar, and she has nowhere to be seen in the Reynosa Matamoros carrier. Again, we have a broken immigration system. They decide to hire 87,000 IRS agents to go after you and I, us peasants, us common folks who live paycheck to paycheck. They're not going for those deep pockets. Again, those 87,000 jobs, couldn't we have given some to our veterans? Couldn't we have provided some economic opportunity for them? But nope. Who cares about our veterans? Let's go after the mom and pop stores. Let's take their money. The streets are talking in the city of Brownsville, and it's not a good thing. We need to fix our image. We need to do the essential and most vital thing. I remember they used to say, hey, limpia tu cuarto, mijito. Es lo primordial que puedes hacer. It's the most essential thing that you can do. Clean your damn room, fool. City of Brownsville. How do we expect to promote economic development? How do we expect to promote growth whenever we have frontage road leading up to the Sunrise Mall to be filthy, to be dirty, to see products, to see condoms, to see tires thrown out? You don't believe me? Drive out in the city of Brownsville. I'm not joking. This is filth, ladies and gentlemen. After coming from Houston, after coming from Sherryland, I was shocked. Sugarland up in Houston. I was, wow, this looks immaculate. But don't go downtown because there, everything's gold. Let's fix our image, ladies and gentlemen. The streets of Brownsville are talking, and it's not for a good reason. Providing hope to our heroes. Congresswoman Mayra Flores did pass the PACT law into effect that will be addressing the needs of our veterans and will help us take one step closer in providing them jobs, providing them with opportunity, making sure that they have a home and their mental health issues are addressed adequately. We need more attention to our veterans. We have been lacking in Harlingen at the Veterans Hospital. We applaud Congresswoman Mayra Flores for taking this initiative, being part of this initiative, and we are confident that this will be one and many more to come for South Texas, for the city of Brownsville, but most importantly for our veterans. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. It is Friday, August the 12th, 7:37 a.m. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Have a great weekend. It's supposed to purple rain, but you know how that goes. We make the announcement, y luego no llueve, and then our friends tell us that we're Larry lies. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. I greatly appreciate it. Hope to see you all here on Monday. God bless.